loves, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. My name is Day, and if you like videos like this one, go ahead and subscribe and join the family. And for those of you who have been here, thank you guys so much for coming to see me once again. So today we are going to be talking about protective styles over locks, and as you can see, my hair is I tried something new. So this video is actually brought to us by NeatandSleek. They are a company that does braided wigs, all different types of braided wigs, and they gifted me one to kind of try. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm gonna be 100% honest, I have never really delved into doing wigs before, like ever. So some of you are experts and you're gonna look at this video and see all my mistakes, and that is fine. I just want to try it out and, you know, see if I liked it, see the difference between putting on a braided wig and actually getting braids over the locks in terms of health and things like that. So it's what I have. This is like a knotless box braid wig. I'm not gonna lie guys, I was struggling putting it on, and it's not because it wasn't easy, because other people who have tried NeatandSleek have said that this type of hair is very easy to install. You don't have to like bleach the knots in the hair, or you don't really have that much to do besides put it on and cut. It was challenging for me because I don't do wigs. So that's why it was difficult for me, but overall it definitely wasn't that bad. I am going to show you guys like clips of me installing it, just so you can see, like, you know, if you were interested, how I was able to get it over top of my locks, because I do have 2-year-old locks now. And then we'll come back and chit chat about pros and cons of protective styles over locks, how I like this or wigs in general over braids over locks, like traditional braids and things like that. So if you're interested in all that, please keep on watching. Okay, so as you can see, like I said, I did struggle a little bit because I am a beginner. If I do braids with locks, I typically do braids over each locks. Now the pros of doing wigs or a braided wig, I'm glad I was able to try, because that's not really something I could give a lot of people an answer about. So the pros is the hair is not individually pulling on each of your locks. When I got box braids and when I do braids over top of my locks, every lock is being pulled by some hair, so there's a lot of weight going on and a lot of pulling and tugging at the root. You really don't have to worry about that when you do braided wigs. I guess another pro would be the fact that you're just able to protect your hair completely, protect your scalp and everything like that. Now the cons I would say is, I think that with wigs it may be a little bit, if you don't know what you're doing, it could be a little bit of a challenge getting or avoiding products in your hair. That was just me, in my opinion, like on the edges and things like that. And also, if you're a person that keeps wigs in for a long time, it will probably be a challenge trying to moisturize your hair. As you know, with traditional braids, you can put, you know, oil directly on the scalp, but of course you don't have to wait a super long time in the shop. You don't have to, you know, take all day and pay a lot of money to get braids over and over again if you just go for the wig option. So that is, I guess, the pros and cons of each. It just really depends on what you are into. And of course, if you're not a pro, like if I wanted to do a braided wig in the future, I would definitely take it to like a professional or a friend who really knows what they're doing and does it a lot to do it for me, something like that. Okay, so let's talk about pros and cons of protective styles over locks in general, or just some tips in general to help you out. When you're doing protective styles over locks, you do want to make sure that you're not leaving the style in for too long. Locks are something that, especially, this is like starter locks particularly, starter locks really need an opportunity to flourish and kind of drop and kind of develop. And the best way for that to happen is them just being exposed in everyday life. So even I say when you're wrapping your hair, protecting it, definitely give your hair a lot of time to be out and dropping and exposed to the air and to be moisturized frequently. When your hair is protected, you know, you can oil your scalp, but you really cannot oil your locks or put rose water on your locks because they're being covered. Another thing is you really have to pay attention to the type of hair that you use. So some people have a stronger allergy to specific types of hair. I'm pretty lucky. Like usually canker hair, I've been wearing it my whole life, it doesn't bother me. But for some people it really irritates them, and if you have an irritation on your scalp, of course that's going to have an effect on your locks, so you want to be careful about that. And then some type of hair that is a lot cheaper in general just can really dry out your locks, and when you keep it in for weeks and weeks at a time, your locks kind of have to regain their strength after and during like that type of damage, so you want to be careful with that too. Whenever I do have a protective style in, especially if it's braids, I don't keep it in for more than 2 weeks. I think the pros of a braided wig is the fact that I can take this off tonight if I want to. In fact, I am going to take this off today, versus if I had braids, I would have braids actually on my locks over the course of several weeks. So I would just make sure that you are, one, not keeping your styles in too long, two, moisturizing your hair the best way that you can. Like if you can, moisturize your hair. And three, just give your hair opportunities to breathe with a protective styling. It's never like a bad thing. Some people need protective styles in order to make it through the journey, but you just want to make sure that, you know, the priority is your hair flourishing and growing on its own. So yeah, that's pretty much it that I have for you guys. I hope it wasn't too cringy for some of you who really know what you're doing. I get it. Definitely drop tips down below. That does not offend or bother me at all. But thank you guys so much for joining me for another video, and I will see you guys in my next one.